Grand Theft Auto 6 is projected to make $3 billion in 1 year. My God. Kojima's next games have been affected by the writer's strike, and the Fantastic Four are coming to Marvel's. We'll have all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. What's up and welcome to the first Kind of Funny Games Daily of 2025. It is Monday, January 6th, and I, of course, am your host, Tim Geddes. I have a mustache because the wheel chose me. It was destiny. I don't want to be here. My facial hair misses me. I miss it, but it's okay, and I'm alongside Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Are you ready for Raw tonight?
I could not be more ready. What an exciting couple days this has been. We just had what I will say is definitively the greatest stream Kind of Funny has ever done.
Yep.
Front to back, we put on a hell of a show. It had everything. It had everything. And what I love about it is 10 years in, we've done it all. You know, we've tried so many different things. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. It's always somewhere on that spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. What I loved about last Friday, when we went for over 12 hours doing a stream with a fully produced show there, right? Like start to end, we had a plan and a vision that was taking advantage of what each individual here is good at. And we took that kind of to the utmost. 2 years ago when we launched the studio, we did another amazing stream where we had every friend or guest we've ever met come through the studio, and that was also amazing. But what I thought was very special about this is we celebrated 10 years of Kind of Funny with all the retrospectives, the amazing videos you guys can watch on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. But once we started the stream, it was just us.
Oh, yeah.
It was just us the entire way through, and we were just putting who Kind of Funny is on display, and it was great.
Yeah. It was definitely my favorite stream that I've been on in Kind of Funny, right? Like, you go back to the studio opening, and I think from a content perspective, I think the content of the studio opening stream was some of my favorite that we've done. I think this time around, though, like, I think we took the production and content of it and mixed it in with, it being us, it being, I think, a more refined version of like, hey, we know what we're here to do. We know what the plan is. We know what our responsibilities are. We're going to go our separate ways. We're going to work together, and we're going to, come here on Friday and put on the best show that we can possibly do. And we did just that, right? Like, shout out to you, shout out to Roger, shout out to everybody who was involved in like editing, Matt Batson, and like all the different segments absolutely killed it. And so, yeah, like congratulations to you, Greg, Nick, Kind of Funny, like the audience for 10 years.
All of you. Yeah, man. I mean, this is us, baby. This is us now. I want to give, of course, a shout out to Nick from Campfire Designs, to Carter Harrell for making logos, making the music. Like, we got such a special team going on, trying to make all this stuff happen. And it was a very special day that I recovered from the entire weekend, both from a hangover, but also from the emotional hangover of it all that I'm still kind of in, but it's leading right into my excitement for Raw tonight, where we're doing a watch along. We're about to live watch along with y'all the Netflix premiere of WWE's Raw. They're treating it like a WrestleMania. It's about to be wild. Today, 5 p.m. Pacific to 8 p.m. Pacific. We're gonna be hanging out. It's gonna be good.
Dude, I'm so excited for Cena to come back. I forgot how much John Cena meant to me, right? Of like, that was my era of WWE, right? It was 2007, 2008. Me, like, I remember as a kid I watched before then, right? But like, I was invested in Cena versus Orton and like that era. And there's something, I remember having friends in high school that like thought they were John Cena. There's a dude I remember named Ryan who like would talk like John Cena. He wanted to rap like John Cena, right? He had a chokehold on my generation.
Yeah, I knew that guy too.
Yeah,
I knew that guy. He was my friend.
You knew that guy.
No, but my era of WWE was because of my brother, 2003 to 2007.
Yeah,
AKA when John Cena first showed up. I was there.
Master of Thugonomics.
And I was there rooting for him when he won the U.S. title. Like, this should mean something to me, man. I can't wait. Tonight's going to be freaking special. So hang on. Even if you don't like wrestling, I think this is actually the best jump on point ever possible, because it's kind of all the names that you know and heard of, like The Rock and John Cena, but it's also like, all right, cool, we're about to start the story. This is a kind of like a WWE reboot in a lot of ways. It's a great jump on point as we head towards WrestleMania later this year.
And it's on Netflix.
And it's on Netflix, so it's very, very accessible to more people than it has ever been. But enough about that. This is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the video game news that you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kinda Funny membership. You can get that on Patreon, on YouTube, and now you can also get it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. This is a new thing that we announced during Kind of Funny Day. It is a very, very new thing. There will be some kinks and problems as we work through it all, but we appreciate your patience, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to support us with the Kind of Funny membership wherever you actually consume Kind of Funny. So we've seen so many of you sign up on Spotify already, so thank you for that. We've seen a significantly less amount of you sign up on Apple Podcast, an amount that's so small that I'm a little concerned that there is an issue with it going on. So if you're in Apple, maybe do it. Let me know. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have to do some research in here.
You know what I mean?
Hey. The numbers speak differently, though. That's the thing that throws me off on this one. I know the breakdown of where everyone is, and like
there should be more people.
There should be more people. There should be more people. But hey,
makes sense.
I don't know. Wherever you are, though, support us how you like. I appreciate that. Although I will say, Patreon is. People keep asking, what's the best way to support us? Patreon.com/kindoffunny is the best way because we get the highest percentage split of it, and y'all get the most from it because you also get to watch live as we record the shows. And you get the entire archive dating back to 2015 of all of our exclusives. I mean, even before then, of all of our exclusive stuff. So that's the best place to be. But wherever you are, that's where we want you to support us. And of course, the membership gets you the shows ad-free and our daily exclusive Gregway. If you want to be a part of this show, this live show right now, you can submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. A little housekeeping. Remember, we are an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Today, after Games Daily, you're going to get a big one. It's the Kind of Funny GamesCast Fantasy Critic 2025 draft. After a hard-fought battle last year, it's time to start again. Start anew.
Also, officially, congratulations.
Thank you.
The year ended, and Tim Geddes was indeed the number one person in the draft, and so another W for Tim. 2024 was the year of Tim W's.
Good. I got married, won Game Showdown Season 1, won Game Showdown Season 2, won the Fantasy Critic, and it was undisputed. There was never any question. There was no bullshit going on. I was never like trying to get people to review a game differently. You know, it sounds ethically wrong.
Greg Miller's on set.
No, I think he wants to shake your hand.
Wow.
I've known Greg Miller for my entire life, it feels. And when he does that, I think he wants a mic.
I was going to say,
I think he wanted to show respect.
I love how wrestling pilled we are. That you thought he was doing the Roman Reigns thing of just hand me the microphone. Our brains are rotten, man. We've watched so much wrestling and nerd shit.
That is amazing.
Do you think Greg's still feeling Friday night? So, like, he just doesn't have the energy to really just, like, do that?
You think Greg Miller ran out of energy?
If anything, I think that kind of like gave him the energy. I didn't make it that far in Dragon Ball Z yet. Mm-hmm. Over my life, I will finish this show. But it's like I feel like he like that Friday night's energy, or Friday and night, everything about Friday. That gave him that like he gets to go away into what his hyperbolic chamber.
Time chamber. Yeah,
there we go.
I got you.
And then he comes back now, and now he's like, y'all need to prepare for 2025's Greg Miller because I know I'm not ready.
I don't know. He started it off with a handshake, so I don't know.
He's biding his time. You think GamesCast is gonna be fucking like chill? you think GamesCast is gonna be a nice relaxed time? Nah, man.
It's gonna be a good time though. It's going to be a good time. And then right after that amazing time doing our Fantasy Critic 2025 draft, we're going to do the stream, which is a Diablo 4 stream sponsored by NVIDIA because we're celebrating our 10 years of Kind of Funny, but NVIDIA GeForce is celebrating 25 years of GeForce GPUs in PC gaming. And then right now across GeForce social channels, there's a GeForce Great celebration going on, looking back at a whole bunch of great PC gaming moments. There's a bunch of giveaways, a bunch of cool things going on, so you go check that out. But there's also a 50-hour global online LAN party that started yesterday that's still going on, that like they're in Vegas right now at CES, and there's just a giant LAN party of people playing games.
Oh, that's awesome.
And people all over the world are joining in. We're going to join them playing some Diablo 4. So you can join Snowbike Mike and Greg, I think, to go see what that's all about, and have a great time right after the Kind of Funny Gamescast. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you can get today's Gregway, which is all about the energy Kind of Funny Day gives this absolute madman. There we go.
Yep. All right, cool.
There we go. We were right. And you can get the Kind of Funny podcast this afternoon and tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services. And then later today, like we were saying, 5 p.m. Pacific, we are going to be live reacting to WWE Raw live on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, queue it up. Hit play alongside each other. I guess you don't even do that. They're both live.
It's live, yeah.
So it is what it is. Will there be an insane amount of buffering and will this go horribly on Netflix?
1,000%.
Probably. But we're going to have a good time hanging out, joking about it. If you're cool, thank you for being cool. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining and Carl Jacobs. Today we're brought to you by Rocket Money, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. We have 6 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
A modest 6 stories, but a big one with story number 1. GTA 6 projected to make over $3 billion in its first year on sale. Billion. My God. This comes from Wesley Poole at IGN. That's almost as much as Star Wars was bought for by Disney.
Yeah.
In 1 year of this new game.
In 1 year.
God, that's nuts. GTA 6 is projected to make an eye-watering $3 billion in its first year on sale. Rockstar's hotly anticipated open-world crime caper is currently due out fall 2025 on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, with no word of a PC release for now. A new report by the Financial Times, based on analysis by video game research group DFC Intelligence, predicts GTA 6 will exceed $1 billion in pre-orders before it even launches.
Man,
$1 billion in pre-orders. Surprising no one, GTA 6 is expected to be the biggest entertainment launch of 2025, ahead of any movie or competing video game. DFC predicted total revenue from GTA 6's first 12 months on sale will reach $3.2 billion. To put that into context, 2021's highest grossing movie, Inside Out. 2024's highest grossing movie, Inside Out 2, made just shy of $1.7 billion at the global box office, which is absolutely massive and huge, making it like the #1 animated movie of all time.
I didn't realize Inside Out 2 was hitting like that.
It got that stuff, dude.
Wow.
It got that
I gotta
stuff.
watch that movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
I watched the first one. I loved it.
I loved the first one. Thought the second one was it was a good sequel, not as good as the first, but like 1.7 million.
That's crazy.
Wow. Billion. In 2013, it took GTA 5 3 days to surpass 1 billion, the fastest of that figure in entertainment history. Strauss Zelnick, boss of Rockstar parent company Take-Two, told the Financial Times, quote, "I never claim victory before it occurs."
God damn.
That said, I think Rockstar Games will once again deliver something absolutely phenomenal. Certainly, the anticipation is high. As the Financial Times points out, the almost guaranteed success of GTA 6 comes amid one of the toughest periods for the video game industry in recent memory. More than 33,000 people have lost their jobs since 2022, with huge layoffs at the likes of Microsoft and Sony. Indeed, Take-Two itself have suffered layoffs and studio closures.
The article does go on. I encourage people to go check it out on IGN. I think they go on to talk about the potential of GTA 6 to bring more people into gaming and how that can affect the industry, which I think is a very fascinating part of the conversation that I do want to dive into. One, I want to say that $3 billion does not sound like a real number to me. It's funny because you mentioned that's you said that's more than what they bought Star Wars for. That's almost what they bought.
Star Wars was $4 billion.
$4 billion. So it's approaching what they bought Star Wars for.
Well, what's funny is it's just the headline here that we have is projected to make $3 billion. It's $3.2 billion. And when we're talking about billions, that .2 means quite a lot.
That's $200 million. Which you're right. That's a lot of money. I read $3 billion and I'm like, that's not a real number.
I know.
But even I think diving more into that, right? I guess talking about the effects of the industry. And honestly, I probably should have kept this part of the article in here. I might go and find it as I'm talking. But I am very fascinated to see what GTA 6 does for the industry, both positive and also negative. Because when we've had discussions a lot in the last year, especially about the state of the industry. There was a popular article that was making the rounds a few months ago about how people are spending more time playing games that are 6 years and older, right? And we've seen the struggle for numbers, and like there are so many factors that come into that, whether it be how much more expensive games are to make, whether it be people are spending more of their time playing live service games, right? Whether it be video games competing with other interests, right? Like during the pandemic 2020, we saw a big amount of people come into playing video games, spending money in video games, doing all that stuff. Therefore, I think projections rise from companies. But years after that, you see maybe those numbers drop a little bit as far as the amount of people that stayed interested in video games versus, oh, I can go outside and do other things now, right? So
but another part of that equation, though, is that less of the big high tentpole titles that were coming out during that time were coming out because that's just the state and cycle of things and how these game development cycles have ballooned. So it is, kind of a two-sided coin where like mistakes were made with projections on both ends.
Yes. One of the things I want to bring to the table here with GTA 6 coming out, of course, we imagine that GTA 6 is going to bring a lot of people back into video games, right? Console sales are probably going to go through the roof, right? PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm sure, is banking on GTA 6. And like also Xbox, right? Like, hey, we want to sell these consoles. GTA 6, once that comes out, we're going to see a big upward dip, whatever the opposite of a dip is. We're going to see a spike. We're going to see a spike in terms of what these sales are. Is there fear to be had as far as software, like other software that is in GTA 6? Because when we go back to people spending their time playing, like so many people, when you ask, what are you playing, right? It's going to be Fortnite. It's going to be Apex. It's going to be Minecraft. It's going to be, games that have cemented themselves as these ongoing, hey, we do not budge. Like we are an ongoing thing that has been lasting for years and we are making money, and there is a percentage of people playing games that are going to be invested in this thing. GTA 6 is going to be another one of those. In fact, it's going to be probably one of the biggest one of those that we've had in a long time.
I mean, ever, period, right?
Yeah, possibly.
I think that's it. So something I want to bring in, right? $3 billion they're talking about. When we're talking about movies, there hasn't been a movie that hit $3 billion. Like the number one highest grossing is Avatar at $2,923 million. So like, not even the highest grossing movie. Endgame, a little bit right behind that, right? Like that's wild, where the barrier to entry, while the ticket costs are nowhere near as much as a $70 title, right? Maybe even more potentially with GTA 6. There is still there's no barrier to entry of having to own a console, right? So it's like it's way easier for people to go out and watch Endgame multiple times, bring an entire family to watch it, all that stuff, right? But when it comes to GTA 6, like you're saying, it's going to be a console seller. It's going to push more console sales than I think any game has this generation. And that's very incredible to think about what that's going to do for gaming because of just the sheer amount of potential audience there is. Because once that barrier of entry is broken down, then more people can buy games. To answer your question of, is there a fear? Of course there is. But I actually think GTA is such a anomaly that it's not a Titanfall 2 situation where it's like, oh man, don't put that game out alongside other similar games. You're going to make it fail. GTA 6, I do think, is going to kind of rising tide helps all ships type situation. In some ways, you have to be smart. I don't think releasing a game within a month of GTA 6 is the right idea because everyone's going to be playing GTA 6.
Yeah.
But I think that the interest in GTA 6 and the type of players that GTA 6 is so broad. It's not like it's just all the Fortnite people are going to jump over to GTA 6. GTA 6 has been around GTA has been around for so long and has meant so many different things to so many different people that I think it has kind of the peak interest of almost every important vertical that gaming audiences have. Like it's going to bring back the millennials that haven't really played games for a long time, but like they love GTA back in the day. It's going to bring back the people that just play, like GTA is one of the only single player games they play, but they just play single player. They're going to play it and then drop off of that and that's it. And maybe now that they have a PS5, they're going to go back and play Last of Us for the first time or whatever game, Ghost for the first time, whatever games that they miss out on that people have been talking about for so many years. God of War, I think, is probably a better example. But I do think that it's going to be, while it will take over many people's lives, I think that overall GTA 6 is going to be more than not a gateway to get more people into other games that aren't just Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. I think that's a very good call, right? As far as lowering that barrier to entry, right? And like, hey, I bought a PlayStation. I had a PS4 for years and years and years. I haven't bought a PS5 because guess what? Like I don't care about playing Spider-Man 2 or whatever that much. Or I can play a lot of these games on PS4 anyway. Oh shit, GTA is coming out. I'm gonna buy a PS5 because I can't play this on PS4. Oh, now that I have a PS5, let me go play these other games. Like I think that is a very salient point. I think the one thing I'll still throw back is like those online hours, right? GTA Online is at this point, right? Like maybe the more important product when it's all said and done, as far as what it means to Rockstar and Take-Two, as far as like generating revenue, what it's going to mean for the life cycle of the game, right? Like they're looking at GTA 6 probably for the next 10 years of what that's going to be versus what GTA 5 was when they looked at that, right?
So what I love about this though is you're right. We've talked about this a million times. GTA Online, that whatever that means for GTA 6, that's going to be the biggest moneymaker for Rockstar. That is going to be what the product actually is as we talk about video games, as we talk about it as a competitor to Fortnite and to what's going on now. But the reality is the $3 billion is coming from GTA 6 in the same way that the $1 billion whatever came from GTA 5. It's not the online. It is just the core game, right? All of that comes after that.
Yeah,
that's not even included,
which is insane, right?
Like, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe.
I was gonna say there's not really clarification, but I wonder, like, I don't even know how they would calculate that if they're trying to calculate.
Because they're talking about a whole year here, so that gets a little bit complicated. My point is, GTA 6 alone will make over $1 billion without online.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
But
right?
And the thing I'm bringing to it is, I think because online, they're developing this from the ground up with online, I think way more at the forefront than even what it has been. Obviously, GTA 5, they're obviously like, you know, working on online and like doing all that shit. And like, that was a very important piece of the pie there. Here, I think now they know what they have with online, and they're going into this, I think, developing online as all right, we need to figure out how to keep people in. We need to figure out how to maintain people. And I think if they like nail all that, if they figure out like what are those like carrots on the stick that are going to keep people coming back, and like, you know, have it be the fact that, I mean, I'm already somebody who played so much GTA 5 online, right? But like, how do we get Tim Geddes to log in every day? How do we get Greg Miller to log in every day? How do we get like the amount of people, let's say 50 million people in year one or whatever those numbers are, maybe more, right? Like, how do we get those people to want to log on like daily, weekly, whatever it is, regularly? I worry for like what that is going to do for time spent in other things, right? Not Fortnite, not like all that shit is fine, right? But I'm thinking of, I don't know, just like any other game that doesn't have like that power, that weight to like get that player time.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's like there is obviously a reality to that where it's like people only have so much time in a day, they have only so much expendable funds. So like, yes, that is true. For some reason, I still think that even with the online side, GTA is just a beast of its own. And I think that there's so many ifs here of if they can figure it out, if they can do it right. And like, it's Rockstar, but their online has been the one thing that like, it's worked for them. People love it, that they play it, but it's not like it's one of those things where it's like every single person that we personally know is playing, right? Or jumping in. It's like, I would say we know more people that play Fortnite than we do GTA. And your point, not yet. That is still a big unknown. Like, will they be able to actually pull that off and figure out that magic that Fortnite's been able to kind of dominate the last 10 years and like iterate on and grow on? Like, sure, this is a GTA Online built from the ground up from what they've learned, from what they've done previously. But I do think that the online side of it has a lot more question marks for me that I am not so sure about. And again, it's going to make a fuck ton of money. GTA 5 still making a fuck ton of money. But to your point, if they nail it, I think this $3 billion is $4 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I think this $3 billion might be like way more billions.
But I'm saying in the first year.
In the first, okay.
And then the next year, it's another 4, and whatever. It's
that
like, like
ramps up.
They have the potential for it to just be like a ridiculous like market leader in a way that we haven't seen before. But that requires, there's a lot of things that need to line up for that to happen. That I do not think that is the expected outcome. I think that we could look at it and be like, oh yeah, it would make sense based on everything that we know and what we are hopeful for. But like, that is such a ridiculous undertaking that it's not going to be easy for them to take over every single person's wallets and playing time against every other video game. There are people that are predisposed to be that. I don't think that gets in the way of other games.
Fair enough.
We'll see, man. GTA 6, it's going to be a big topic this year and probably next year too.
Well, let's see if it comes out this year.
That's what I'm saying. Talking about it will be a big topic. Story number 2, Hideo Kojima's Xbox and Sony games have been affected by the actor strike. This comes from Wesley Inpool at IGN. Hideo Kojima has revealed the ongoing video game actor strike has affected production on both his Xbox game as well as his upcoming action espionage title for Sony. That is happening. That is wild.
God, what a man.
What a man. In a tweet, Kojima said that Kojima Productions was forced to suspend actor scanning and filming for the Xbox-published OD during the second half of 2024 after the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Arts, SAG-AFTRA, video game actors strike began in July. Similarly, casting for Fizzant, Kojima's hotly anticipated return to the action espionage genre, was suspended due to the strike. Kojima added he hopes to resume production in 2025. SAG-AFTRA video game voice actors accused gaming companies of refusing to meet their demands on artificial intelligence. Negotiations over a new contract began in October 2022, and members approved the strike in September 2023. What this means for both OD and Fizzant remains to be seen, with both games without an official release window. Both are video game movie hybrids, with Nope and Get Out director Jordan Peele collaborating with Kojima on OD. Fizzant was announced during a Sony State of Play broadcast, suggesting it may release on PlayStation 6. Meanwhile, Kojima's working on Death Stranding 2, which is out at some point in 2025, and the live-action Death Stranding film with A24. In his tweet, Kojima teased other adaptations are underway without saying any more.
Man. Like, to your point, right? The fact that Fizzant exists is like still kind of a crazy thing in my mind, and I say exists in quotation marks.
I know.
Like, we'll see when we actually get to play that thing. But yeah, I mean, Happy Death Stranding 2 doesn't seem to be affected, right? Like, that game, I believe, is slated for this year. I think it got the 2025 window. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
And it not being mentioned within all this. Okay, cool. It seems like we could still get that this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I would love to see it this year.
Yeah. What is interesting though is like I don't think that the strike's still going. Correct? Barrett, do you know?
Yeah, from my understanding, it's certain places that are still being struck. There are some developers. It's mainly for the AAA space. There are some developers that have been exempt from the strike for certain reasons. It's not a lot of them, but yeah, it's continuing. It's ongoing, and I'm sure you read in the thing. Sorry, I was working on tech stuff. Again, it's a lot of AI protections. And
for sure,
like that.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not a great time to try to be an actor, but
not a great time to do most things.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest with you, but yeah, no, it's like this is obviously going to affect studios like Kojima Productions, who do heavily rely on actors, and many games do. So I feel like this is the type of thing where these strikes are important because we got to figure this shit out because they are clearly being undervalued and disrespected, to say the least, when it comes to this AI integration of things and how sloppily it has been implemented.
That's the thing is the AI thing is very scary, right? Like, and the fact that sometimes you won't even notice. Like, I think it was the finals that came out like a little bit over a year ago, right? Like I think a year and a month, where they had like AI announcers, and I think I had played like maybe the beta, or like I had played some version already, and I didn't even realize until people pointed it out, and I went back and listened. I was like, oh yeah, like that is AI. Oh yeah, it kind of sucks, right? Like, one, because the performance, once you realize, you then start to like nitpick the performance and be like, oh yeah, this kind of sounds off in some ways. But then also, like, yeah, you are taking away jobs from people who are actually doing quality work, and you're using a shortcut that, like, I think in the long run is gonna end up leading to worse quality things, right? Because like, you want actors being able to portray these roles, right? You want people to be able to give the gravitas and emotion, all this shit that like I don't think AI is able to. And like, we'll see where AI goes in the next 10 years. It's getting scary and scarier as it goes. Where this shit is fucking wild that technology can do, right? But like, you got to use that.
Will Smith eat that spaghetti?
What was it?
Will Smith eating the spaghetti?
I've not seen this. I have seen this.
The OG, like a couple years ago.
Yes.
You've seen the new version?
No.
Terrifying.
Really?
It's like,
it's way more realistic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, I think technology itself isn't inherently evil. It's about what you do with the technology. And I think a lot of the generative AI stuff that is like, I think doing quote unquote creative work in ways that is either stealing other people's creative works to generate what it's doing, or just like taking away work from other people, right? As far as like, oh, this could be done in a way more quality way if you give it in to somebody else to do. Like, I think that's the shit that sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the future
weirdly recently went to the Computer History Museum because my grandfather was in town, and he's a big dork, bigger than any of us. And there's a section on AI, and I think going through like the eras of technology where so many AI bros recently have been like, oh, it's just like the next generation of things that we're going to be able to use to create art. It's like, yeah, but like the other iterations of technology, like computers and stuff, are just new canvases. to perform art with, whereas AI is just taking the canvas away from the artist, which is just, again, when people try to argue for AI, it just shows me that you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what making art is about.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a strike is great, right? Like, I think this is one of those ones where you need to push back. From what I understand of talking to people, like there are people in my family that work in tech and do different shit, right? And like one of the things that I hear is when it comes to AI being put into everything, it is very much like investors and people that get excited about the idea of innovation and pushing something forward and like
making more for less.
Yeah, essentially.
Is what it is.
And like there is a push in the tech world for AI in everything, right? Hey, you're doing whatever job, you're a janitor, you're doing whatever, figure out how to like implement AI. Like we need AI in it because AI is going to excite the investors, going to make us more money, right? It's not necessarily
we have
just
to
about
pay less
quality.
people.
Yeah, like it is kind of about like pushing things in that way. And so like any opportunity right now in the tech world that might possibly have a potential for AI, it's going to be pushed. And so I think in a scenario like this where you're an actor and you see that push and you foresee the fact that this push is going to be bad for both the medium, but especially like your job, yeah, fight back, like strike, like, you know, do what you got to do to protect your work. Otherwise it will be lost.
100%. Before we get to story number 3 here, I want to remind you that you can get the Kind of Funny membership to get our shows ad-free. You can now get it on YouTube, Patreon, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. It would help you get the shows ad-free. But for everyone else, here's a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn they were still paying for things that they totally didn't even realize. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. Story number 3, Fantastic Four are coming to Marvel Rivals. This comes from Michael McWhorter at Polygon. The Fantastic Four are coming to Marvel Rivals, and a new trailer featuring Marvel's first family reveals how Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, Human Torch, and the Invisible Woman will look in motion in NetEase Games' superhero shooter. Naturally, the FF will be battling Dracula from Marvel Comics, of course, who's plunged New York into eternal night and plagued the city with vampires. Classic. Season 1 of Marvel Rivals, which heralds the final...
Whoa. Something happening? Did we lose? Oh, God.
We might have lost something. Hold on.
Oh, Barrett's figuring something out. Jesus Christ.
I hate it here. Plus, I hate it here. I knew the handshake was too good to be true.
Greg Miller's walking in for audio listeners. He's just standing in the corner menacingly. The lights are off. And it looks like Mike, Andy, and Roger are holding up their phone lights behind them to give kind of an effect of a WWE entrance. He's holding the stars to the big briefcase.
Don't you know who I am? I am the man that you will never be.
Are those your disciples? God.
Yep. Is that beer?
Oh my God.
It is 10:36 a.m. on a Monday.
Well, when you have stars in the bars, you can do whatever you want.
Stars in the bank.
Stars in the bars. You got the stars in the bars.
Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs.
Dear Lord.
Maybe you didn't catch the stream. Maybe it was too long. Maybe you missed a segment of it. But you might not have heard that 2025 is the year of Team Blue, and that's me.
Ooh.
I have been cheated. I have been robbed. You have seen it stolen from me too many times. I am the true winner of Kinda Funny Game Showdown. And now that I have won stars in the bars, I can cash this briefcase in at any time. And when I do, I can challenge someone for their star. Now you might say, hold on a second. The season hasn't even begun.
It hasn't.
For Kinda Funny Game Showdown. That is true. Blessing, when does it kick off?
It kicks off next Friday. That is Friday the 17th.
You need some?
No, I'm good.
You want to share?
I'm drinking some tea right now.
That's fine.
Some Mint Majesty.
Have it your way. Tim, what I need you to know is that for 2 seasons now, you've won Kinda Funny Game Showdown.
And the Fantasy Critic.
Oh, well, one time. We'll talk about that in a second. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I have stars in the bank that I'll be able to cash in and challenge anyone for a star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to challenge you. Because I know you're going to slime your way into Blessing's panties and get another one of them stars. All right. And when you do, I will be waiting. So, yeah, the season hasn't fully begun, Bless. I understand. I get it. Man, the beers are hitting today. It is Raw on Netflix, everybody. But, yeah, the season hasn't started. But I will be reminding you all year long, Tim, that I can strike at any time, all right? I can get you at any time.
Is this Ronald with no mustache? With no makeup. I got mustache on the mind.
I wonder why.
God.
Golly.
Look like you can't go by schools anymore.
My Lord.
Fucking beer at 10:38 a.m.
Good.
On a Monday.
My ear is ringing. You know what I mean? It's just that, like, it's more of a throb, if I'm being honest.
I mean, he was real close here. He was talking directly into that thing.
Season 1 of Marvel Rivals, which heralds the... I said Final Fantasies. I look at FF and I think Final Fantasy immediately.
I know.
Fantastic Four's arrival begins January 10th at 1 a.m. Pacific. That's when Marvel Rivals players can expect to get their hands on Reed, Sue, Ben, and Johnny. But details of how the Fantastic Four will actually play remain to be seen. NetEase Games hasn't yet revealed gameplay specifics about the newest heroes to join Marvel Rivals roster. No doubt this will happen ahead of Friday's Fantastic Four-fueled festivities.
And you do understand that, like, as soon as Greg started walking in, I frantically opened up a Game Showdown doc to write questions because I was like, I don't have anything prepared. I'm not ready.
I thought he was already cashing it in.
I was cashing in. Now I got to like figure out what questions to do in real time.
Yeah.
And then I remembered, I was like, wait, Tim doesn't even have a star, so no, he cannot cash it. I'm not letting this happen.
You gotta love the showmanship. You don't gotta love much else, but you gotta love the showmanship.
I'm sorry, like I was trying my best to throw you off and be like, oh yeah, like it's weird that Greg just has like no energy today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the lights went off, there was that when Barrett was quiet about it. It's like,
yeah,
you know,
it's like because at first I was like, oh, power's out, but then I'm like, no, the video wall is still on, so there's something
I
going on.
I think I left
here.
my mic off, but I did try to be like, oh shit, sorry, like something happened, but yeah,
great stuff, everybody. Fantastic Four, very cool. Are you still playing Marvel Rivals at all?
I'm not playing it as much as I would like to. I wanted to play more during the break. I ended up playing more Persona 3 Reload and beating Persona 3 Reload.
Shit, no way.
Oh yeah. I
missed that. Very cool.
Like it's one of those ones. I'll talk about it probably maybe during Game of the Year. We'll see. Maybe during Spiley's. We'll see. But like it's one of those ones where it took me just the entire year to beat that game, which is funny because the game takes place over the course of an entire year.
Yeah.
And so whenever I pick the game back up, magically I would be in like kind of the same season that I'm in that moment. I'm like, all right, cool, this lines up pretty well. But I got to like 60 hours and I thought I had 10 hours. Turned out I had like 30 hours left. I beat it, you know.
Hell
I did
yeah.
it. And so thank you everybody.
Hell yeah, very proud of you.
But Marvel Rivals is one that I peek into maybe like once a week or so, like play a few matches and then like, you know, move on. It's very fun. It's just tough to like find the crew. It's tough to like get people coordinated at the same time. Like, yo, we're playing Marvel Rivals. That said, very impressed with the fact that they're already adding Fantastic Four. I was having a conversation on this show late last year, I think in the last week with Snow Mike. We were talking about Marvel Rivals and we are talking about what it needed to be successful. Actually, this was not the last week. This is like the last month. And one of the things Mike said was like, oh, it needs this many characters, this many things. I was like, Mike, you're going to get 4 characters in 2025, and that's it. You're going to get 1 character per season. And turns out already I am wrong. And so congratulations to like Mike on being right on this one. And like, again, kudos to NetEase for being able to make this happen. I am shocked you're getting 4 characters in January.
With that, I think that the marketing buzz around this game is high. Like my socials are filled with people being hyped about these announcements and like sharing the trailers. Like even from my side of socials I follow that are more movie focused, like my like MCU people I follow, like they're all hyped on this game in a way that they aren't normally hyped on multiplayer games for one thing, but maybe like Spider-Man 2 when it's coming out, they'll like show this level of interest and do trailer reactions and stuff. But for Marvel Rivals, they're being fed good stuff to like talk about and react to, and it's like, oh wow, NetEase kind of pulled off something crazy here.
I think Marvel Rivals, in like when it's all said and done, is going to go down as like one of the most iconic Marvel games of all time.
That's wild.
I think already
that's a big statement, and I don't think you're crazy.
Yeah, like already I think it's on that trajectory. Like the launch buzz is so high and it's still here after weeks, which is like already big to say about a games as a service, because it feels like so many games as a service, you have that first big week and then an immediate dip, right? But like, no, like the hotness is still there. They got characters to add already, and they're adding they're adding the Fantastic Four, which is very exciting. It's also not like they're at a lack of characters to add in the future. There are so many characters still left on the table that can be great. You look at the art style, you look at the polish of it, right? It is a very impressive game. And I think even more so, you show it to anybody and they immediately get it. You know, my friend Sarah, right? One of my close friends, she plays Overwatch every week with her crew, right? And I join sometimes, like most of the time I'll join. And I texted them like right before Marvel Rivals came out, and I was like, hey, you should play Marvel Rivals. Like, it's the newness, it's the new Overwatch, yada, yada, yada. And I was expecting them to play it for maybe a few weeks. They're still playing it they're still playing Marvel Rivals regularly, and I'll hop in with them. And it's the thing of, if it's hitting with this crew of people that only really play Overwatch, I'm sure it's hitting for a lot of that fan base. Like, I think a lot of the Overwatch fan base was looking for something like this that felt fresh, but still felt within the confines of, this is the hero shooter with polish, with personality, and
modern multiplayer game.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Story number 4: Black Myth Wukong dev bemoans lack of Xbox version, points the finger at the Xbox Series S. This comes from Wesley Inpool at IGN. The boss of Black Myth Wukong developer Game Science has pointed the finger at Xbox Series S over the lack of an Xbox version of the game. In a post on Chinese social media website Weibo, Game Science co-founder and CEO Feng Ji celebrated PC and PlayStation 5 action game Black Myth Wukong's Game of the Year win at the 2024 Steam Awards, and in doing so, lamented the lack of an Xbox version of the game, which he blamed on optimization trouble with the Series S. Quote, the only thing missing is the Xbox, which somehow feels a bit wrong, but that 10 gigabytes of shared memory without years of optimization experience is really hard to make work. That's a reference to the Xbox Series S power relative to the Xbox Series X. The Series S has 4 teraflops of GPU compute compared to the Xbox Series X's 12.2 teraflops. But the killer's the drop in memory allocation from 16 gigabytes down to 10 gigabytes. Microsoft's Xbox release policy means publishers and developers must release their games across both Series X and S. They're unable to release a game for Series X only, for example. This has caused difficulty for some studios in the past, perhaps most notably Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian. In interviews with press, including IGN, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has deflected questions about whether Xbox Series S is holding developers back. Spencer has said, having an entry-level price point for a sub-$300 console is a good thing for the industry. I think it's important. The Switch has been able to do that in terms of kind of the traditional plug-into-my television consoles. I think it's important, so we're committed. The situation with Black Myth Wukong, however, is further muddled by Microsoft's insistence that the game's delay on Xbox has nothing to do with development issues. In a number of statements issued to IGN, Microsoft has suggested an exclusivity deal with Sony was the cause of the delay. Quote, as we have said before, we're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platform, Microsoft told IGN. We prefer not to comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us. Messy, motherfuckers!
Here's the thing, right? It's 2025. Mm-hmm. Can we leave Black Myth Wukong in 2024? Like,
I did not expect that to be the take.
Can we leave Black Myth Wukong in 2024? It's a great game. It's a great game, right? The combat is solid.
I heard it was good, just not great.
Yeah, the combat's good, not great. But like, can we leave it in 2024? I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Also, what is up with this mess? So yeah, like during this, Barrett showed up. He was nothing.
I would think I
right.
was right because yes, for months people were like pointing to the comments about like, oh, we don't make comments about teams making publishing partnerships or whatever. And it's like that just feels too weird and specific, and it feels like insinuating something that you might not even know fully about. Right. And it just felt like more so seeing that game run on PC, seeing that game like struggle at first, I believe at launch on PS5. It was like, it just sounds like, it probably doesn't run great on the Series S,
I mean, there's a lot here in terms of messaging and how you answer things, how you do things, how you don't do things, whatever. But it all goes to show there's a lot of issues when it comes to the messaging and communication and understanding of the Xbox ecosystem, despite the advancements they've made. There's still issues, whether it is us understanding as journalist, media, adjacent, whatever the hell you want to call us people, as consumers of buying the games that just play the games and don't really care about this stuff, or also the developers themselves, right? Like it doesn't matter what the details of the reality are. Having him in his speech talking shit about the Xbox Series S and saying that it's a problem is not good.
Here's what I'll say. I think Xbox and Phil Spencer, fine with it though, right? I think the sales of the Xbox Series S, I think you take that any day over Black Myth Wukong coming to the platform, right? Like, I think it'd be nice if Black Myth Wukong was on Xbox, but if you're Phil Spencer and you're like if you're doing like your, hindsight 2020 thing and going, oh man, should we have actually launched the Series S? I think every single time you're saying, yes, like look at the sales of the Series S. It worked for us. Sure, maybe we didn't get Black Myth Wukong. Maybe Baldur's Gate 3 came to the platform late and like we had to make exceptions or whatever. But like the Series S sold really well.
I mean, again, that just goes to who Xbox is. And that's not prescribing good or bad or any type of quality to it. It's just facts. That is what Xbox is. Everything is an Xbox, and they would rather that than focus on the games.
Yeah.
I care about the games even potentially when it comes to that, which it's an interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off in the long term.
At some point, you got to drop the Series S.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Okay.
But I woke up this morning and saw that CES is happening. So there's going to be a lot of tech shit going on. I don't know the details, so don't hold me to this. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But if I'm understanding correctly, the next group of LG OLED TVs starting 2025 have Xbox in it.
Whoa,
yes.
What?
Well, in it? What do you mean in it?
Like, there's an app, the Xbox app.
Oh, yes. This is part of Wii News.
We actually saw,
I mean, we can...
fucking Wii News?
Yeah, take it out of Wii News. Xbox and LG are bringing cloud gaming to LG smart TVs.
LGs are an Xbox now.
They announced it.
And that's huge, man. One of the mainstream TVs, when you go to a Best Buy, that's the biggest segment of TVs that you see is the LG OLED section. And like, that's just, it has an Xbox and they're promoting it that way. Big win
huge
for that ecosystem. So I'm sure we'll talk about other tech stuff eventually. But moving on to story number 5 here. A PS5 style controller is announced for Xbox platforms. This comes from Andy Robinson at VGC. Peripheral firm Hyperkin has announced a new Xbox and PC controller based on PS5's DualSense design. The new competitor wired gamepad will be compatible with Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC.
Yuck.
Featuring a PS5 style.
Oh, this is awful.
And Hall effect analog sticks positioned in the PlayStation style. The controller's triggers are also designed similar to the PS5 DualSense controller, and prominent mute buttons featured on the gamepad's face. They haven't shared pricing or release info. They previously created the classic Duke and Xbox 360 style controllers for Xbox and PC, which are available to purchase on its website.
The all black one I like a little bit more, but it's still seeing the Xbox controller with like the two sticks like on the same level as each other. It's just like,
yeah, I apologize.
happening?
I put the Xbox and LG thing in Wii News because I had to bring this up to main news because I just needed to call out how disgusting this looks. Yuck.
I don't hate it.
Really?
I don't like it, but I don't say yuck to this. But what I will say is I mean, look, there's a lot of third parties out there. Hyperkin are a good one. Hall effect sticks, that's great. I don't really understand why you wouldn't just buy a DualSense though.
Because you want to play Xbox.
But you can use it on your Xbox.
What are you doing? What law are you breaking? How are you doing that?
I guess you do need the little dongle. But I wonder if you need a dongle for this. But yeah, no, I use my DualSense Edge for everything. For my Switch, for my Xbox, for my PC, everything.
Interesting.
Everything.
Damn, yo, let me know. Like,
it does sound like he's breaking laws.
Yeah, what's your hookup with the devil? What god are you praying
to?
A
little 8-bit dough. The 8-bit dough Bluetooth connector. It's like $15. slap that thing in the back of the Series X.
Yeah.
Every time I play it, I use my DualSense Edge.
Damn.
So I did it like twice.
Kind of
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
That's kind of crazy. I will say this does look like it feels good to hold. I just see how it looks.
Sometimes the yuckiest things are. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. I mean, hey, don't get me started.
Oh my God. Man, I don't even have a segue. I don't have a segue for that.
It looks big.
What's up with Wii News? You know what I mean? Where would I look?
You would go to our final story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Wii News, baby. Xbox and LG are bringing cloud gaming to LG smart TVs. This is a big, big deal. Seems like it's only going to be 2025 models forward, which is always a bummer. I like when they do the kind of retroactive stuff, but we've seen Samsung, I think, kind of change that where they later did add it to older ones.
Oh, did they?
I think so.
Okay.
Not all of them, but like to some. So
Might need to check my TV.
So we'll see where this goes. Sonic the Hedgehog movie crosses 1 billion at the box office.
Come on.
Took 3 movies to do what Mario did in 1, but
I mean, listen, that's still a third of GTA 6 in the first year. If you think about it.
3 movies. Yeah, I guess
If
you're
you
right.
think
I guess
about
you're
it,
right.
I had to do weird
I'm doing my part. I saw Sonic 3 times.
Did you really?
I saw it 3 times
Why?
in theaters with different groups of people.
Good
What do
for
you mean
you.
fucking why?
It's
Dude,
just-
it's Sonic 3.
It's not Black Panther. I saw that 5 times in theaters.
I'm a movie. Like if I like a thing, I
You'll
want to
watch
see
it
it as
again?
many.
That's
Especially,
fair.
I saw it in 40x twice. Sonic 3, a 40x movie. Telling you that for
Really?
sure. Oh yeah, so
Okay.
much fun. So
I
much
love
fun.
that.
And I said a lot of the things that I don't agree with. I'm already you're wronging myself for my review of Sonic 3. It's better than I gave it credit for. Still have a lot of issues. Still have a lot of issues with it. But one of the things I said that I immediately regret is that like I'm not going to want to rewatch parts of this movie and over. There are multiple parts of this movie
Dude,
that I
come
want to
on.
rewatch over and over. And the last thing I'll say, while there are my biggest issue with the movie is how the Robotnik stuff kind of can interrupt the best stuff of the movie.
Yeah.
The dance scene is also one of the best parts of the movie.
I mean, I'll
so
take it.
fucking
I'm not
good.
mad at it.
It's so good, Bless.
It's-
It is. There's one part of it. The push the button part makes me laugh out loud.
Not my cup of tea, but I accept it though. I know that that's like a hit for
Fucking
people that
button,
appreciate it.
Bless. PlayStation Plus monthly games for January 2025 will be Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I just want Truman Show Jim Carrey back. Is that too much to ask? Give me Eternal Sunshine
He's
Jim
done
Carrey
so
back.
much of that shit over the years.
Nah, man, but that's the good shit. That's where he's
God.
shining.
You ever see Kick-Ass 2?
I never saw 2. I saw the
It's not
first
a good
one.
I
It's
forgot
kinda
he was
interesting.
in that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Resident Evil 4 Remake has now sold more than 9 million copies and is by far the fastest selling game in the series.
Good for them.
Good for that, because it feels like RE4
Came and
Remake
went.
came and went in
Yeah.
a way that the other ones didn't. And I think it was just timing, but holy shit, good for them.
Good thing for Resident Evil. Just being on an upward trajectory still after
Yeah.
all this time. Obviously, they had that dip, with 5 and 6.
Oh, they had a bad dip.
But like the fact that 7 was able to bring it back, and now you're just on a flow, back to back to back to back, just killing it.
Tokyo Extreme Racer launches January 23rd on Steam Early Access. I got a press release for this today, and I looked at it. It looks like a dream game, Bless.
Really?
It's just like Need for Speed Underground type stuff, but it's a series that's existed for a long time. Barrett, if we can try to pull up the trailer of Tokyo Extreme Racer. Extreme doesn't have an E before it because that's how fucking cool it is. Tony Grayson says less than 1 month to the day, Anton Blast has recouped all expenses related to development, marketing, and production. We are profitable.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Summit Sphere is going to be making a lot more games for a lot longer. Thank you, everybody.
That's fucking awesome.
Shout out. Anton Blast is freaking awesome. I'm about 2/3 through. I'm still working through it. I had to put it down because I'm working on some review stuff, but like, loving Anton Blast. You got to
Yeah.
play it, Blast.
I want to check it out.
It's real damn good.
Ooh.
But yeah,
This is Tokyo Extreme Racer. This looks.
You can customize the cars. You can add the neon underneath.
Yeah,
It's
this
like,
does have Underground 2 vibes to it.
got some good stuff.
Holy cow.
The Friendly Drop It's, made by a Kind Funny Best Friend, is out today on Steam.
Yeah, shout out. The developer hit me up on Blue Sky in DM and was like, hey, like, this is a quick out today. Like, I'm putting out a game. I think he
that's
called
awesome.
me out because I'm Puzzle Poppy and it's a little cool puzzle game.
This also seems like this reminds me of a couple games that Kevin and Mike got addicted to on stream. So this might be a good one for them
yeah.
to stream at some point.
Yeah.
This is cool. It's like a physics-based Tetris where it's animal face shapes.
Yeah, what's the fruit game? I know what you're talking about, Barrett.
Yeah, I forget what
It
that
was like
one
the
called.
viral. Somebody in chat will say it. What's the Suika? I think it's called Suika game.
Suika game.
Yeah, it looks like that.
And Bless wants to shout out Cryptmaster.
Yeah, Cryptmaster. So Cryptmaster is a game that came out earlier last year that me and Greg got into. The Cryptmaster page on Blue Sky put out a tweet saying, if you've enjoyed Cryptmaster, please consider sharing the news. Despite an IGF award, a 95% Steam rating, and a free demo, the game has gone mostly unnoticed by both press and players. It's not just a typing game, and there may still be people out there who would enjoy it. I just want to give my own personal shout out. Me and Greg, I think, talked about it last year, but I think we talked about it like maybe on the back of a GAMESCAST or something like that. Cryptmaster is a really cool indie game. It is a dungeon crawler where essentially you're collecting words and using words to battle against enemies, and there's like really fun word puzzles that allow you to like access certain areas. It's really cool, has a really interesting like eerie vibe to it, and it's one that I would recommend if like dungeon crawler is your vibe, or like really cool word stuff is your vibe. If you're into like the what is it, the New York Times like word game type stuff, like if any of that appeals to you, this is one that you should check out. And so I just want to give this a quick shout out.
Looks rad. That's it for Wii News. That is it for Wii News. We got some You're Wrongs here. Let's see what's going on.
As you're looking, I can shout out some super chats real quick.
I'm here. Not Calvin Press says, just a clarification, if the video game strike is like film, productions can apply for a waiver to continue an already started production if they agree to union asks along with their company. New union productions, however, can't start with union members while striking.
Gotcha. I assume, yeah, Fizzin, I don't think it started.
Yeah. NATO said, Tim said the entire Fantastic Four would be playable when Season 1 launches, but only 2 of them will be available that day, with the other 2 coming midway through the season. We don't know which 2 come when yet.
So you maybe Bless, maybe you'll be right.
There's no way I'm right, though. Like, if these were the only characters added to the year, then we got a problem.
But yeah, we do have a lot of super chats. Let's get to these here. Daniel May says, congrats on 10 years. I finally started the Metaphor spoiler cast. Has Barrett done the secret things yet?
No, they just told me about the secret things. So
Secret
that's what I
things.
did.
Oh, yeah, the secret things. Yeah.
Yeah. I had started a New Game Plus run. And then, like I said, on the 10-year anniversary stream, I blacked out at some point, and then somehow every Naughty Dog game ended up on my PS5. So I've been doing that instead. So, yeah. Finished writing about Jack 3 yesterday, and now I get to start Jack X Combat Racing soon.
I'm so excited for you.
I guarantee Barrett will experience the secret things at some point, probably in the next.
At some point, I will
in the next
continue
12 months,
that New
probably.
Game Plus run at one point.
Mr. Nice Guy Rise says, happy 10th, Tim and Bless. Watched the stream with my brothers, John and Zach, all day Friday, and we agreed that we demand KF10 logo merch. Such a vibe, and we would rock that shit. Is that in the cards? There's conversations happening. I would be shocked if that doesn't end up happening, but it is also, merch is just difficult. Figuring out the logistics and making it worth it all can be difficult with customer service and getting things right and all that stuff. So stay tuned, but we're working on it. We know that there is demand there, and we have some very cool ideas.
I don't know why, but there's something that I like about 3 brothers named Ryan, John, and Zach.
I don't sound like a Disney family. Or something.
No,
like
yeah,
that's a family on Disney Channel.
That's a sitcom ass family right there. Ryan, John, and Zach go on adventures.
If they have like a cool enough last name, they sound like
Stryker.
Yeah, if their last name was Stryker, that sounds like 3 Amazon Prime action series that are all in the same universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also, just sticking with the Disney Channel, like if they're all named Stryker, one's into snowboarding, one's into skateboarding, and then the other one's into like surfing, you know? Think about it.
And they're all undercover.
I like that. I hella like that, dude. Kendra says, glad to see KF shows return on my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Keaton Armstrong says, Tim, did you get to see the Kenny Omega return entrance at Wrestle Dynasty with AEW on Max and WWE on Netflix? Omega and Cena back. 2025 is going to be legendary for wrestling fans. Yes, I did. Did you hear about this, Bless?
No.
Kenny Omega, who's so awesome. Last year, I want to say, maybe 2 years ago, came out to One Winged Angel at Wrestle Kingdom.
I remember this, yeah.
And it was amazing. He dressed like Sephiroth, did the whole like one wing thing. It was great. This time, he's been gone for a year from wrestling. This was his return.
Mm-hmm.
And the day before he returned, he tweeted, and he was like, I just want y'all to know, I have a new entrance that I'm debuting tomorrow. Composed by Soken, the composer of Final Fantasy 14 and 16.
That's awesome.
With an intro from Nobu Uematsu.
That's insane.
What?
And it fucking kicked. It sounded like he came out to his very own Final Fantasy 16 battle track.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool stuff.
How do we get them to compose something for Kind of Funny?
I'm pretty sure we just ask and pay a lot of money, but just ask. Bogan Knight 7 says, shout out to 10 years of Kind of Funny games. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. Dear Sixlet says, on a layover, so I'll watch later. Just want to say Happy New Year to the crew. The KF10 stream was very fun, and thanks to everyone for your hard work. Thank you very much, dear Sixlet, for always being here for us. And then One Bite Snack just says, sorry if this is uncouth, but I just released a physics-based puzzle game on Steam. If any BF could help me by adding to your wish list, it's called The Friendly Drop Its. Thanks and happy KF10. That game looked awesome. Go support it, y'all. Sergio Maldonado says, Tim, any updated thoughts on the Retroid Pocket 5? I'm thinking of getting one, but I'm worried about it being too small on the PlayStation layout joysticks. Stay tuned. I'm not prepared yet. This break was a lot more wedding editing than I expected it to be. So I haven't had my Retroid Pocket 5 fully set up, but it's like 80% there plus. And I'm going to blow y'all's minds when you see some of the things I've been tinkering with.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is a delight of an emulation machine.
I just remember that I'm getting the analog N64 this year. We're going to be gaming.
It's going to be a good year.
You got to bring that into the office.
I will.
Hell yeah.
ZRick6670 says it's hard to watch Greg be the heel when Tim looks like it with the stash. Yeah, I'm either evil Tim or sad Tim right now.
Should enter your heel era.
My heel era.
Bring back Tim Ragnarok.
Oh my God, yes.
Come on.
The chaos.
The chaos.
Jeff Bull Jr. says, I want the inverse PS5 controller in the style of Xbox. Offset sticks, the best way.
I'm like 99% sure that exists.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, like from a third party, yeah. The Xbox, because I remember using one that was like on must have been PS3, PS4. I'll look it up. I'll find it. It's out there.
And Justin T. Mars says, watch the last few hours of KF Day. Tim, thanks for showing us it's okay to show the emotions. Real men cry. I forgot to set in my memory, bump it into you with all of you with Tone Deaf at Dos Charles while you were hyped planning KF1. Wow, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Sorry for the sound I just made.
Yeah, this is yucky.
Barrett just pulled up what is that?
It's just gross. So this is, I believe a Razer offset DualSense, and it's just
they just don't. It's like a DualSense 8 and Xbox controller is what it looks like.
And I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan, and it's just one of the I like the DualSense and I like the Xbox controller. When you try to mix and match them, that's when I get the ick.
Yeah,
it gives me the ick.
Mr. Nice Guy Rye super chats again saying our last name's Gillen. So we're working with John, Zach, and Ryan Gillen.
See,
Gillen
that's
Bros.
Disney Channel.
The Gillen Brothers?
Gillen Bros.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is like a Jonas Brothers type, like the Gillen Bros.
The Gillen Bros.
Chilling with the Gillens.
For me is like, okay.
Holy crap, we got there.
Chilling with the Gillens. Come on, man.
But now they're not skateboarding and surfboarding and stuff. They're like 3 stagehands.
Okay.
Like a big tech production kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that. What a great show. What a fun vibe. A fantastic first episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily of 2025. And it will not be our last. We do this show every single day. And then after that, we do a Kind of Funny Gamescast every single day. And after that, we do a gameplay stream every single day. And we also do other stuff. What a fantastic time to be a Kind of Funny fan. I know we have a lot of people back for the very first time in a while. Some people here for the first time. The amount of tweets or threads or things I saw of people over the weekend that were saying that like 2024 was their first year with Kind of Funny.
No way.
Makes me very, very happy.
That's awesome.
I mean, there wasn't hundreds of them, but there was at least a dozen, and that's always nice to see. Yeah, let's get a couple more dozen this year. That would be very, very nice. Stay tuned. We're about to do an amazing Gamescast where we do our fantasy critic draft for 2025. I'm sure chaos will ensue with that. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.